Hello there, universe! Well, last week we talked about the worst moments of this franchise. Now, it's time to talk about the best. And believe you me, narrowing this down to just 10 moments was not an easy task. So, let's get right to it. These are the top 10 best moments in Mass Effect. Number 10. Killing Saren in Mass Effect 1. Mass Effect isn't exactly known for its amazing boss fights. Robo-Skeletor here is a good example of that. But I have to say, one of my biggest fuck yeah moments while playing this game was finally, after every painstaking mission, with the bad shooting mechanics and the awful autosave, to finally beat this game was a huge victory for me. Now it should be said, the first time I played through this game, I sucked at it. I'll admit, I wasn't much of an RPG fan at the time. I was very much a linear story type person. I barely did side missions, I made bad decisions with leveling up my crew, so this level was super difficult for me personally because I basically went into this fight with one hand tied behind my back. So the fact that I was ever able to beat this near impossible level, by my own hand mind you, was a big victory for me. The opening to Mass Effect 2. So take the ending of Mass Effect 1. A big triumphant victory makes you feel like you're the king of the galaxy and you can take on anything. Then for all that to be torn apart at the seams when a new enemy appears, beats the ever-living shit out of Normandy and kills Commander Shepard.
What? How? Why? I have so many questions!
This completely threw everyone for a loop. Not only destroying our beloved ship, but straight up killing the protagonist of the game. Now that's how you hook us in. But for me, I think the best thing about this is the spacewalk. You go from alarms blaring, explosions everywhere, to a sudden cold and silent environment where the only thing you can hear is your breathing. That contrast and isolation makes you realize just how terrifying space is. And then 60 seconds later, you're dying in it. It really puts things in perspective and just gives you a taste of the brilliance to come. Shepard's speeches. We all love a good motivational speech. Well, Shepard's chock full of them. Each game has at least one great speech that gets you pumped. Hell, Mass Effect 2, they give 2 at the exact same level. They're the type of speeches that would really make Shepard feel like the type of leader you'd want to follow into battle. Probably because you're the one giving the speeches. Yeah, that makes it just a little bit more epic when you're the one deciding what kind of epic badass speech you're going to give. Sure, there are great speeches given by other characters like Eve, Kirahi, Hackett, but awesome speeches are just a little bit more awesome when they're coming from you.
Humanity needs to do this, not just for our own sake, but for the sake of every other species in Citadel space. Saren must be stopped, and I promise you all, we will stop him.
Number 7. The fleet arrives in Mass Effect 3. After spending a whole game recruiting and putting together an army of literally galactic proportions to take on the Reapers, and that nerve-wracking war asset scale telling you how fucked you are, this is the moment where you get to see all of your hard work paying off with dozens and dozens of ships all ready to take back Earth. It's the fact that they seemingly just don't seem to stop coming, and for the first time you think, actually, yeah, we might be able to do this. With ships from almost every major species, the first wave attacks is reminiscent to the Death Star fight from Star Wars, seeing the Reapers on equal ground and getting ready to send them back to where they came from. While this final assault may have ended on a whimper, it certainly started off with one hell of a bang. Number 6. The final conversations in Mass Effect 3. Though we may not get total closure with the crew, the goodbyes you do get really help sink in the finality of the situation you're in. In Mass Effect 2, everyone was all gung-ho about going for a suicide mission. This time round, everything seems much more somber. Everyone is honest and just wants to make sure their affairs are in order in case this is their last chance. especially for the crew members who have been with you from the first game. Seeing just how far you've all come since that first mission on Eden Prime. Oh, I just got why it's called that. The most effective ones for me were always Garrus and Liara. Garrus being the best bro a commander could ask for, reminiscing over the simple days, having a bit of last minute banter, and going out with some words of wisdom. While Liara, it's much more simple and beautiful. Very few words are spoken, instead they just share a vision where they can be together in a moment of pure beauty and emotion. Even with the ending that we get, this doesn't take away from how brilliant and moving these scenes were. And this gave the crew the send-off they deserved.
Forgive the insubordination, but this old friend has an order for you. Go out there and give them hell. You were born to do this.
Number 5. Thane's Romance. I said in the prior video that the romances were actually some of the best parts of the series, and this is one of the best examples of that. Thane has to be one of the most complex characters out of the whole crew. A former master assassin who quit his job after he met a woman and fell in love, but tragedy left him a shell of his former self, never truly happy again. Wait a second, that's Spike's backstory! But in all seriousness, while his arc in Mass Effect 2 and 3 is interesting in its own right, it's only in the romance with Shepard that you truly feel like you help him with his redemption and help him find happiness again. Furthermore, this is the only time you will ever see Shepard cry in the series, so that's got to show just how much it meant for both of them. While romancing Garrus or Jack might lead to more fun relationships, they can't compare to the emotional weight that comes with Thane. That is except for one.
You have only made my life better. You gave me you, Goliath. We are alive, Sia. And when we are not, I will meet you across the sea.
Number 4. Liara's Romance. What makes Shepard and Liara's romance so special is simply how normal it is. There are no formal lovers or tragic backstories, it's just two people who have really good chemistry and balance each other out. And that's the key word here, balance. In every other relationship, it always feels like it's Shepard helping the others out, with them rarely helping you, making the relationship feel very one-sided. Here, the two are constantly supporting each other when needed, but most of the time it's just them, well, being together. Arguably, this makes them the healthiest couple because of how little drama there is. Across 3 games, we see these two develop. There's a reason why so many people say even if you don't romance her, you still kinda romance her. That's just how well suited these two are for each other. They're the best couple in Mass Effect and one of the best things about this franchise.
Right now, there's no place I'd rather be.
Neither would I.
Number 3. Mordens Death from Mass Effect 3. Well, that's a tonal shift. While I hate the circumstances around the deaths, mostly the fact that they can't be avoided, or even if you do save Mord, he's never seen or mentioned again for the rest of the game, so you have to pretend he's dead, so what's even the point? The moment itself is simply heartbreaking. A character who has always tried to view the world in an objective manner, doing horrible deeds for the greater good, and though everything he does is logical, he's still a person and does feel guilty. In Mass Effect 2, we saw signs of this, such as learning that he once turned to religion, believes in karmic retribution, and has always had a code of ethics he stands by. This was his chance to do something that was both logical and the right thing, saving an entire species that he once doomed, sacrificing himself in the process and redeeming himself. This is one of the best arcs in Mass Effect, and it ends on a high note. This scene nearly broke me. The music, the acting, the singing, and that damn smile. He's so proud of himself, you heroic bastard! The scene was perfect because it's like Morden said. It had to be him. Someone else might have gotten it wrong.
Temperature now within acceptable range. Dispersal commencing.
Number 2. Legion's death in Mass Effect 3. Oh, you thought one tragic death was enough? Well, nope! Mass Effect 3 is chocked full of them. This one plays out quite similarly to Mordens. It's the end of a series-long plotline coming to a close and also coinciding with a major character arc that ends in said beloved character's tragic death. The war between the Quarians and the Geth is something that has raged on for generations, all because the Geth started to develop a sense of self-awareness and the Quarians probably saw Terminator and knew exactly where this was leading. But even after all that, Legion still fights for Geth independence. From the Quarians, from the Reapers, just wanting to make the Geth thinking and working creatures, not machines. And to do this, it has to make the ultimate sacrifice. But in its final moments, we are able to see the success of its actions. Instead of saying we or our, like Legion usually refers to itself, it says me and I. No longer a machine, a person. Finally having the answer to the simple question that started a war and changed the entire species. Does this unit have a soul? Well, I'd certainly say so, Legion.
I know telling. But thank you. Keep us alive.
And the number one best moment in Mass Effect is the Citadel DLC from Mass Effect 3. Argue that this doesn't qualify as a moment, or that DLC shouldn't be included, or something else deserved to be above this, I don't care. For me, this DLC was a celebration of everything Mass Effect is beloved for, while poking fun at its flaws. The very last piece of single player DLC means this was the last time we were ever going to see these characters, and BioWare gave them the goodbye they deserved. The first half is a fun adventure filled with witty banter, callbacks to other moments from the franchise, and a plot that works as an homage to Star Trek, the main influence behind Mass Effect. While the second half is literally nothing more than all the characters partying in Shepard's apartment, and god damn if it isn't some of the most entertaining stuff I've ever seen. I've always said you learn more about characters in their downtime than anywhere else, and I couldn't ask for more. Just a bunch of friends getting drunk, chatting, dancing and bonding. If the best thing about Mass Effect are its characters, then having a DLC that is just an excuse to hang out with them seems like the best thing ever, and it truly is. It shows why they're important to Shepard, it highlights their distinct personalities, as well as giving you plenty of emotional moments that really get you tearing up over the fact that this is the last time we're ever going to see these characters again. Hell, I could do a top 10 list of the best moments from this DLC alone. Rex's entrance, Garrus dancing, drunk Tali, Liara playing the piano, everyone shooting at once, the I should go gag, the hamster gag, the elevator gag, the toothbrush gag, and of course, motherfucking Blasto!
That's why I love hanging out with you guys. Why shoot something once when you can shoot it 46 more times?
This DLC is a perfect blend of comedy and drama, giving us everything you could want in Mass Effect. A fun sci-fi story, plenty of action, and of course, amazing characters that make this a memorable and impactful experience. The Citadel DLC is a highlight of everything great about the series. How could it not be the number one greatest Mass Effect moment?
It's been a good ride.
The best.
So, those are my top 10 best moments in Mass Effect. Did I leave off your favourite moment? Well, of course I did. It's fucking Mass Effect! This is not only one of the greatest video games of all time, but one of my favourite stories of all time. Filled with brilliant characters, fun gameplay, a deep story, rich mythology, creative designs, great acting. Hell, I could do a top 20 of the best moments in this franchise, and I still wouldn't be able to talk about everything great about it. For every bad moment, there's at least 5 great moments to counteract it. Mass Effect Andromeda certainly has a lot to live up to, but I'll try and go in with reasonable expectations, because it's going to be difficult to recapture the brilliance that was the original trilogy, and one of the greatest experiences you could have in gaming. So, I hope you enjoyed this video, and feel free to share your favourite moments of this franchise in the comments below. Until next time, later universe.